The muzzle is off. Let go of the shame, remove all the pain, block it out like a troll on your timeline. The past is what made you who you are today. Embrace it, let it go like an exhale. Remove it, remove it, remove it. The muzzle is off.
What's up, everybody, and welcome tonight to the Muzzle is Off podcast, where I am your host, Nakia Monet. I hope y'all are feeling real good, real energized tonight, because we are having part 2 of the conversation that we had last week, right? There were a lot of questions that came about from last week's conversation about polyamory, and I think we need to just go a little bit deeper to get a better level of understanding about what polyamory actually is and what it is not. And then also to really and truly begin to understand, how does a couple actually decide, like, yo, you know what? We need to become a polyamorous couple from being a monogamous couple, right? So we understand that the 2 guests that we had on last week, Mitch and Shindira. Shindira is my cousin. And they started off as a monogamous couple, right? They started off just 2 people dating and relating, you know, in full monogamy. And then there was an it that happened. And I think one of the things that we're going to discuss tonight is that it. All right. So let's get this whole show started as I bring on my 2 guests, Mitch and Shindira. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hey. How y'all feeling?
Good. He dying, so we good.
Let me ask y'all a question. After last week's podcast, how did y'all feel after that?
Good.
How did you feel, Mitch?
It felt weird. I'm not used to speaking to people about my personal shit.
Right.
So, that was weird for me, but it is what it is. You good?
Me, it was more interesting to hear some of the feedback from people, and I was just like, but did you not, like, I know it was long, I understand, but did you watch it? Did you watch? And clearly some people did not.
Didn't watch. All right, so let's clear up some of these questions, comments, and emotional freaking outbursts that occurred last week, because sometimes I think, like Shindira said, so we were a little long last week, right? But I think that it's important to understand that conversation has to grow organically, right? So at the end of the day, my platform is not no simple Q&A. Like, I'm gonna ask you, so what are you wearing today? Oh, okay, so you wore that. And then, like, no, it's conversation based, right? And I think people have to understand that when you're conversing, you literally get a lot of information. And some of y'all are hard-headed, and some of y'all don't listen to understand. You just listen so you can hear and then respond. So let's clear some things up. What is polyamory and what is it not?
Okay, so polyamory, the the prefix poly means multiple, and then the amory means love. So multiple loves, which then translates into multiple relationships that are loving on whatever level you consider them to be. It is not about just sex. It's just like any other relationship that you would have, dating, etc. Or even if you decided that you just wanted to be the friend who, listen, we just chill in the bed and we watch TV together. I can cuddle and snuggle with you, and then that's all it is. It's just multiple loving relationships. That's it. that's
Period. We're not talking about is, swinging. That's different.
No,
right?
That's totally different.
Right.
That is totally different. That is
yeah.
a single or a couple deciding that they want to either engage in random sex with people where they go to like parties and things like that, or they may even know a group of people that they continuously see over and over again, that they have they do sexual acts with them. It doesn't necessarily actually have to even be penetration. It could be BDSM type stuff. It could be all that. But they create relationships, but it's not relationships in the sense, at least in the broader spectrum, it's not relationships in the sense where it's like boyfriend, girlfriend or whatever, but they do create relationships with the people that they are having sex with.
But what we're saying is that's not poly.
Yeah, that's no poly.
That's not polyamory. That's not what we're talking about. And I want to make that explicitly clear, because there was a lot of misunderstanding as it pertains to what polyamory actually is. So another thing, right? So last week we kind of talked about it happened, which then brought y'all into to change the dynamic of your actual relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody willing to let us know? Because people were very like, well, what happened? Why is there this that happened that then basically had them become open from monogamy to polyamory? Can we discuss the it?
Can we discuss the it?
I mean, it's simple. I cheated. I had 5, 6, 7. I don't know. I forgot what the number was.
It was
5.
Yeah, multiple things going on. Everybody, even though everybody was happy in their own right, everybody was happy in their little bubble, but we had a random stay at a hotel, just chilling, doing what we do, and I went to work, and after work, a couple of fellas. It was somebody's birthday or something like that. So, we had a couple drinks. I do not promote drinking and driving, but I had a little bit. I drove. I had my GPS on, and I got to the house. I got to the hotel room, and I passed out. The GPS was still on. So she, being who she is, decided to turn the GPS off. But then she's like, you know what? While I got the phone here, let me go ahead and look in there and see. And
and then
she saw everything. She saw everybody. She went bananas. She started
acting a whole fool.
She acted a whole complete nut. Texting every woman in my phone, sending them pictures of me sleep, knocked out, all kind of craziness. So yeah, it went left for a minute.
It did. It was definitely one of those situations where it was like, we had the conversation in the beginning of our interaction, and I kind of had a feeling he was possibly still seeing other people, because these people were around before me.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a feeling, and he wasn't like, he and I did not create a actual like boyfriend and girlfriend relationship until maybe 6 to 8 months after we got together. So if you want to get a timeline, we met each other in November. And then 8 months later, what is that? April, May? Something
around
like
there.
Mm-hmm. It's around when we decided to be boyfriend and girlfriend. But at that time, he hadn't cut off the other chicks.
Right.
So we became boyfriend and girlfriend, then the other chicks are still there. And that night I found out, because there was intuition, like, you didn't cut them chicks off. Like, I know there's people there. So after the crazy, we found that we had a long conversation, a very long conversation, because our relationship technically was pretty new as far as boyfriend and girlfriend. So that's the only reason why I was even open to having a conversation. Because if we had been together for a year, 2 years, I'd have been like, yeah, nah, because you should have known better. But because we were dating and chilling literally, I think a month prior, I decided to have the conversation because I had already had the thought process anyway. So it made it easier in a sense to have that conversation. Clearly, you like to have multiple women around. What's the point of getting rid of these women when you could just keep them? And then I could keep this one particular person at the time that I still had around. But I wasn't interacting with him on a boyfriend girlfriend level. He was just there, kind of thing. So yeah, so we ended up having a conversation there, and then moved forward in attempts to become more open, which was difficult in the beginning.
I can imagine, right? Because sometimes it could be a little bit easier when you're hiding than everything being out in the open. And now it's like, what are we, like 2.5 years later of everything being like out in the open?
No, we've been together 5 years.
Oh,
we've been together 5 years. This is going into, like, at the end of this year, it'll be 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Have
yes,
y'all felt the balance though with poly?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you balance out relationships, right? Like, you guys live together, right? So you guys live together. So we discussed last week, they live together. But is there a level of balance that you have when maintaining these outside relationships, like an actual balance? And also, because a lot of people, especially the men. So a lot of the men really had questions for you, Mitch, with regards to your level of comfort within lifestyle, within this love style, within the polyamory lifestyle, right? Because a lot of the commentary that I received was like, I don't know how he do that, because I don't know how he, because I couldn't fathom my woman being with anybody else outside of me, right? When you're dealing in that monogamous way, right? And I'm like, but if you think about it, have you ever cheated? This is more in the open. This is saying, listen, hello, we're going to talk about it. Let's have a conversation, right? So, Mitch, for you, it's really about, a lot of the men really wanted to know, how do you handle the balance of, okay, we are in this relationship, but you can, see other men, she can, be intimate with other men. And then the flip side of it is you get awarded the same privilege at the same time. Like, everything has to be understood. And what people were saying was, they seemed like Shandera was all like, yo, yeah, because, boom. And then you're like a lot more reserved, like almost, I'm still trying to get this whole thing, right? That's what that's what they asked me. Like, how, we want to hear from him. How does he deal with all of this stuff?
I'm reserved by nature. That's part of who I am. That's just, who I am as a person. That doesn't change. But
I would say you should start from the beginning.
It's a learning experience. It's a struggle every day. But as time goes on, it gets easier to maneuver, and I have to understand certain things. Like, if I don't know about anybody else, I'm just gonna speak for me. I've been with women who had men. I dated, I slept with, whatever you want to call it, women who had men, and I was cool with that. It didn't bother me that they had a man over there that they was chilling with, could have been their, boyfriend, fiance, husband, baby daddy, don't matter. It's whatever it was. And I was cool with, being on my side and still doing what we did and whatever, and I was cool with that. So, I'm sure that the role was also vice versa. You know, even though they didn't know at the time, but people mess with people. People interact with people on a regular. It happens. Whether you know about it or you don't know about it. This here is just more so right in your face. There's no sneaking around the corner or hiding and all that other stuff. It's not that kind of thing. So now you get confronted with your with your activities. Your activities is on Front Street, her activities is on Front Street, and now you get to make a choice. Actually, she taught me this in saying that it's not fair to take people choices away. It's not. It's not fair to interact with somebody and lie to them and make them think one thing and feel one thing and move, but you over here doing a whole nother thing. But if you had kept it a buck in the beginning, that person would have had a choice to decide for themselves whether to interact with you or not to interact with you. Right. So it's always better to give people that choice and say, okay, this is what it is. Are you with the shits or not? That's it. And if not, I respectfully shake your hand. It's been a pleasure. It's been cool. If I see you in the street, I'll buy you a drink. Be cool. But if you with the shits, then come on in. The door's open. So it allows people to just be like, okay, I got a choice. Nobody hit me. I wasn't blindsided later. Like she got blindsided later, 6-7 months in, whatever the months in, with the other women because she didn't know. She was blindsided. She didn't, like, oh, I'm in this whole unethical poly situation, and I didn't even realize it. I didn't know it. Right. I didn't know I was dating a man who was dating 5 other women. Right. I didn't know that. And then she hit me with but had you gave me the option, we could have made that work. And of course, I'm like, yeah, right. That's bullshit. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, because a lot of women say that shit, and then when they get hit in the face with the simple shit. What you doing today? I'm going out with Susie, so I can't really rock with you today. I call you tomorrow. They'll lose their shit. They will lose their whole shit. They won't know what you mean, and they'll be real extra. And like, oh, but you said we was cool. Like, right. You said you understood my life. Right. Yeah. So, when she hit me with it, I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. It sounds good. But in her spirit, she was with the shits. She was like, yeah, I've been waiting. It's like she was waiting for the moment. It's like, I've been waiting for this shit. Oh, yes. And then she jumped in, both feet, head, ass, everything. Just jumped in. She just cannonball all the way in the spot. She jumped all the way out the window and just did it. So she was all in. She was like, yes, this was the go. But my situation was more so, it was weary because as men, and I'm gonna say this, and fellas, y'all can agree with me or not or whatever, but I believe we put women on a pedestal. Okay. I believe we put women on a pedestal. If she's mine, she's on this pedestal and she's high up there, and nobody can touch her but me. Nobody can touch her. Nobody can feel her energy or know what. All that is for me. And then the moment somebody or they find out somebody touched it, now she done fell off the pedestal. Now she's off the pedestal. Now you ain't shit. Because if other people get to touch you, you're not special anymore. Because you ain't exclusive. It's not just for me. Right. Even though in most cases, we as men are probably out here doing what we were doing, whatever we're doing. Not all cases, but in most cases. Like me, I would be out there doing my thug dizzle, but let her do her thug dizzle. I'm punching somebody in the throat. Somebody getting hands. But I'm like, and as they think about it, I'm over here wilding. I'm doing all kind of shit over here. But let her smile too hard at it, dude. Let the dude graze her a little bit. Hey, what the fuck is that? Hey, the energy. So I had to come to terms with, like she said, the same way I enjoy certain movements and certain things. She's a human being too. There are women who would rather not entertain and interact and whatever the case may be with other dudes, which is totally okay. But then there's women like this one over here who
Really?
You know, appreciates, you know, multiple male energies, you know, whatever they may be. Even you know, even if it's just casual flirting that don't go nowhere, but just the fact that it's happening, you know, it makes her feel good.
Mm-hmm.
She don't have to like the dude. Like I don't like him, but you know, he give me compliments. He shower me with compliments and all kind of good stuff, and and it feels good to have that coming from a different person. She likes it. You know, someone like, it's creepy. Why? No, you know, it's somebody showing you attention and appreciation. I have to understand that, yo, men gonna look at her, and some men gonna like what they see. Some men won't. Some women gonna like what they see. So, you know,
right about it. Mm-hmm.
She's gonna get that energy, you know. And it's been a struggle for me, you know, come to terms with, you know, everything as far as you know, the whole, you know, flirting and dating and whatever. All this, it's a struggle. It's not easy. You know, like I said last time, I tend to turn off certain pieces of me, like that mindset. I gotta turn that off.
So you don't react.
Yeah, but the problem in
There's
that
a whole
lies.
problem with that.
The problem in that lies, when I do that, it also shuts off other things. It shuts off other things. I get, you know, disconnected for a little while or whatever, and I just, you know, go off into my own little space and world, and, you know, in my brain,
everything's fabulous.
In that moment, in my brain, I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit. In a moment in that brain, she's the homie now.
Okay.
In my brain, she's the homie now.
Because that's how you processing it.
The beginning.
It's easier for me to come to grips with, like, if my home, you know, I got homegirls, I got mad homegirls, and, you know, I'm gonna say this respectfully because I love them. I love y'all. Y'all awesome. But some of my homegirls are on their thought shit. They on it heavy.
I love them to death. Like,
they on it heavy.
They awesome.
They awesome, but they on it heavy. They'll tell you quick. They be like, yo, my pussy's thumping. I'm somebody getting it. Like, that's how they feel. So, you know,
sexual liberation.
Hey, listen.
You know, because they the homies, you know, the way they rock, and they, you know, if she with this one or that one or this one or that one, in a week, I'm like, well, you know, hey, all right, as long as you're being careful, you being cool, all right, my nigga, good shit. All right, and we laugh, we chop it up, you know. I tell somebody, hey, leave that nigga alone, don't touch him. Go get him. Like, that's how, you know, my mind moves with them.
Because they don't homie.
So when she does whatever you click homie mode.
And then now I'm over here upset because I'm like, you was just talking to so-and-so. You was bigging her up for the things that she was doing and having all this conversation. And you can't have that conversation with me. But because, like he said, that whole pedestal thing that a lot of men have, that you my girlfriend, you my fiance, you my wife, and you all the way up here. And as soon as somebody even grazes your shoulder, now you are no longer worthy of that status of me.
Yeah. You're now soiled. You're tainted now.
Right.
You were pristine up here in the cut with just me.
As if I never had sexual partners before.
Don't matter.
It don't matter.
Don't matter. Don't matter. If I buy a previously used car, I don't give a fuck about the users I had before. It's my car now. It's my car now. I adjusted the seats. I got the mirrors where I like them. Everything is good. I'm straight. This is it. I don't want nobody else coming to sit in my seat, shifting my gears, moving my shit around.
Changing the viewpoint.
Yeah,
changing the view.
Now I'm just staring at the back seat. Why am I staring at the back seat? Somebody done moved my mirror. Some little ass dude that moved my mirror.
Little ass.
So I'm like, yo, we don't want that.
Look, he ain't even tall as you. Yeah, I get it.
I'm just saying. So, you know, it's tricky for me. You know, I have moments. I have moments where I get upset. I get jealous. I want to get violent, but I don't, because I'm better now.
Wait, you better now?
Yeah, I'm better now. So I chillax and I turn off whatever I need to turn off, and in the beginning, like, I would just completely distance myself. Like, she would go do whatever, and I'm gone for 2 weeks. Like, all right, I'm good. You know,
2 weeks?
Yeah, I'd be gone. I would still call and still text or whatever.
Be physically present.
I just wouldn't be physically present. You come to see me? Nope.
As if I needed to like wash my body.
Yeah, I needed her to wash it all off.
You needed to cleanse.
Yep. I need you to scrub all that negative, not negative, but I'm sorry, excuse me when I say this. Scrub all that nigga energy off you. Scrub it off you. Scrub it off. Get it off.
I'm following with you. I knew where you was going.
It's gonna get a couple of washes. You ain't gonna take you a couple of one wash ain't gonna get it. I'm gonna need you to get in there and you know what they call sage. You got to sage and do all that. Do all that. Get all that, and in 2 weeks you'll be good. And I'm back. Hey, I'm back.
You know what, but Miss, you know what? All jokes aside, that's like the Bible. That shit is in like Leviticus and stuff. If you lay with a woman and she had a period, then she unclean for 2 weeks. I'm with you. She was just unclean for 2 weeks. You had to break.
For that little minute, you was like, yeah,
right.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not because I literally don't want. I didn't want to touch her skin because I knew somebody else touched her. I didn't want to touch her. I didn't.
Now let me say this to you, right? Now let me say this, right? One time, I knew somebody was cheating, right? This is fatty, right? And I couldn't put my finger on it, right? But I promise you, he had me and his hoe at the same hotel in the same room, but at different times. Let me tell you how I figured it out. Now, mind you, I still have no real confirmation of this shit. However, I kid you not, because I never forget. I went to go lay down in the bed and my skin started crawling. Okay. My skin was crawling. I literally jumped up. I was like literally jumped up. Now we up in where was we at? We was in Connecticut. Okay. I jumped up. I said, yo, you had that bitch in this bed? He was like, what are you talking about? You're paranoid. Yeah, this, yeah, that. Yeah, blah, blah. I was like, no, something ain't right. Like my skin was crawling. I went in the car because his ass is about to get left in Connecticut. I went in the car and I sat in the car because I was disgusted. I was like, you're lying. No, I did not. No, I did not. I mean, yeah, because he was doing a revival. See how y'all church people do? He was doing a revival up in Connecticut, had her there, okay? And then had me come up, I think on like that Sunday or something like that, right? So I'm like, what is going on? Why is my skin crawling? I get what you're saying. And then come to find out, and I found out afterwards, right? Because the pastor that he was preaching up there for after everything blew up with Fatty, and she reached out to me and she said, that weekend that he did the revival, she was here. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
Skin crawling.
Yeah.
I get it.
In the beginning, he was like that, and it was very difficult. A very difficult time trying to navigate him through the fields. It was very difficult because he wasn't trying to navigate
through it though. Like, what did you have to do over time?
Over some threatening, some threatening, allowing him to just go through it. A lot of conversations about how that don't make no sense, and how it's unfair and biased for a lot of the things that he was doing.
Which I understood. I just didn't care at that time.
You're right.
I got it. What she said made sense, how it was unfair and it was biased and it was, come on, but you get to, and in my head, I'm like, I get to, but I kind of wasn't though, because, now that this movement is happening, my wells done dried up. So
hold up, we're gonna get to your wells done dried up. We're gonna do our ad, and then boom, we get into the wells dried up, because that was, and then we're gonna get to Chris Boyd question too. We got you, Chris. Hold on.
If you need an event space for the intimate wedding, birthday party, baby shower, game night, or sip and paint, look no further. Gallery 603 in Union, New Jersey. the official sponsor for the Muzzle is Off podcast.
That's my song. You like rain, rain. Sorry. Okay. Welcome back, y'all. And yes, if you have an event and you like to use an event space, hit up Gallery 603. All right. Now, let's get to Chris's question, and then we're going to tap into the wells running dry because we can't have no dry water running around here. So Chris said, Mitch and Shandira, have you tapped any outside resources, literature, articles, individuals, Facebook groups to help you better understand polyamory and how you wish to practice it?
Why are you looking at me?
Because you be the guru on polyamory.
That's all I feel. That's all I feel. I don't.
So you haven't looked at any articles or anything? That's what he's asking.
Whatever article I looked at is because you sent it to me. That's why. So.
Okay, fine. I am a part of multiple polyamorous groups. I know that you are a part of just one. Are you a part of other ones?
Couple of groups. I don't know. I think it might be one or two.
Yeah. So there's like multiple Facebook groups. Why is she messaging? Sorry, I'm getting messages on the top of the thing. There's multiple Facebook groups on there, and I'm a part of a lot of them. Literature on the internet, talking with people who are part of the lifestyle. Yeah, I've definitely done that because at first I didn't know all of the lingo and stuff. So I like to be educated when I go into things.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not over here looking all kinds of foolish. So I did do a lot of research ahead of time.
See, I'm one of those learn on the job kind of people. Like,
Very much so.
Nothing wrong with hands-on training.
I dive in. I'm like, fuck is we doing? What we doing?
You know how many?
What we doing?
But it could save you.
Here we go.
It could save you if you are prepared.
Here we go.
If you what?
If you're prepared.
I know. I heard you.
So I'm like,
it will save you.
She'll come to this group and I'll get in the group and she fusses at me all the time. It's like you're not active in the group. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but this why now we gotta help you well, okay? Because this is why the well is running dry. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm with you, Shandira. We about to help Mitch as well. Okay.
Listen, my well is not dry. It's just not as flourishing as it was. It wasn't as full. Like, before this, I had a little ocean. I was
just swimming.
I was good. I was out there, doggy paddle, backstroke, all that. I was
swimming in women like they own kind of videos, 5+5. I'm with you.
I was, and then once I started this whole movement, it was like, all right, it's like somebody stuck a big ass sponge in my shit and it just sucked out all the moisture out of the damn. Okay, yeah. It's like literally, it just took us a huge sponge and then just sucked up all the moisture. I'm like, damn, all right. So now I'm fighting to get, I'm dying of thirst out here. What the hell?
But it's crazy because when you was hiding and sneaking,
I was getting all the love. Everybody loved me. Forgive me for saying it like this, but the penis was never dry. No, not never.
Not a dry penis in sight.
Not never.
Not a dry penis in sight.
But now I was like,
the same has happened to me though, because monogamy is much easier for everyone than polyamory. So to be totally honest, I think in the last 3 days, I've got hit up by like 5 people because I'm on apps, but majority of them are monogamous. So, and they don't read. Like, so if y'all are on dating apps, I need y'all to read because like my profile,
right?
Yeah, my profile says right on top, I am polyamorous, I'm bi and I'm polyamorous. So people just don't read. And then once you tell them, they're like, well, why do you want to do? I had a dude ask me today, well, why do you want more than 2 men? And I was like, because I want to. I was like, because I want to. I'm not sure why you're asking me this question. And he was like, I don't understand why a woman would want to have more than 2 men, and it's just crazy. And I finally told him that I was polyamorous. He was like, "Oh, I must have missed that in your profile."
You didn't read the first letters?
You didn't
P-O-L-Y, you ain't got no L.
Like, you clearly did not, obviously. So yes, it's hard out here in these streets for us poly people.
Yeah, I don't do the app situation. I don't do the apps. I prefer meeting you at the laundromat or at the bar, or
and now if he went to the laundromat
or you know what I'm saying, this, you know, the physical interaction for me just works better. Like, I feel like people put on I think people, you know, some people, not all, but some people put on a role whether you're in person or not. But I think it's more of a role when you're on social media, you know, because I can text you, or I can type anything in a box. I can type anything I want. I can make myself to be anything I want, and I can keep it up. I can keep it up, but you can only do that to a certain degree in person. Like, you can't give me too much bullshit in person, because I can see through certain shit. I can see through. You can't tell me you polyamorous, but then, you know, I'm in front of you. So now anytime you see me look at another woman, now you cringing, or your eyes twitching, or you look like you pissed off. How you can't be poly if you get mad because I'm looking over here. You can't be. You know what I'm saying? Like, so there's certain things, there's certain levels that when you're in person, you can't front, you can't hide it.
That's true. There's
you know, online is whatever, you don't know. And I'm like, And most of the chicks, and again, I'm gonna say this, forgive me, people, I apologize. Please, nobody get, no, I'm saying it because it's about to happen. I'm about to say this.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the majority of the women that are in the polyamory world,
oh, I know what you're about to say.
Yeah, for me, aren't that appealing. I believe, and this is just my belief, and I'm probably gonna get cussed out, but fuck it, whatever. Whatever. I really truly believe that, you know, a lot of people move and deal with, you know, this type of stuff because they want attention. They want love from another person. And trying to do it monogamously wasn't really working for them. It wasn't working out. Like, if you was a dude and you was an unattractive dude, you couldn't get girls to really rock with you too tough. But now that you on the polyamorous tip and you on this other stuff, you're able to come in here, interact with these girls and do these things with these women and have these multiple dates or whatever, because they're a little more free, a little more, you know, more what's the word? I lost it. You know, it's you know, easier for them to just interact and say hey and rock out and have a good time. That monogamous woman over there was probably not paying you no attention. But now you're polyamorous now. Now you're into kinks. So now she's like, And there's a couple more women like, I mean, he may not be that easy to look at, but he's interesting. Let me see.
And that is one of the benefits.
Matter of fact, I can rock with him and still have my boyfriend on the side, and he ain't gonna care. Okay, cool. So I can rock with you, and we can go on a date. He can spend his money and give me that time and that energy, and I can still have Big Dick Willie over here rocking my soul, and I'm good. And that it makes it easier. It makes it easier for them to entertain and move around. So I don't feel like, you know, they're doing it for the best reasons.
So then that makes it hard for you.
So now I'm in here and it's 50 girls, 50 polyamorous women. But I'm looking and I'm like, out of these 50 polyamorous women, I might see 2 that catch my eye. And I'm sure I'm not everybody's cup of tea. You know, I'm too tall, I'm too skinny, I got too much hair, I'm too light, whatever. I don't know, whatever. But seriously, like, I see him and I'm like, no. And it's just on the visuals. Spiritually, they're probably dope. They're probably great people, awesome people. I can talk to you and laugh and conversate, but I need sexual chemistry. So if I can't look at you, and in that moment of looking at you, be like, I want to fuck you. In that moment, I want to be able to look at you and feel that. Not saying I'm gonna do it. I'm saying I want to look at you and feel that way.
Okay.
If I can't look at you instantly and feel that way, I don't want to bother. I'm good. I'm okay. But I want to feel that way immediately, and I don't most times. So
that's why his well is.
It go the dry well.
No, I think that's interesting, right? Because now the contrast is the fact that prior to poly, you didn't have this issue.
Nope.
So do you think that your attraction level changed because now you potentially need to date within the poly community?
But see, my attraction level didn't change.
But who's in the community?
The pond that I was fishing in is now smaller.
Uh-huh.
Before I had a very wide ocean sea of, and I could, if I went over here and it was dry, I turned to my right a little bit and the fish was jumping. But now the pond is so small that I don't have much to choose from. I don't have much to choose from. And out of that small percentage that I have to choose from, there's only a few of them that catch me. And like I said, they're probably dope, amazing women, whatever the case may be. I can talk to them, laugh with them, kick it with them. We can have drinks or whatever. But as far as sexually, I need to be able to look at you. And in that moment, I look at you like, I could definitely fuck her. Definitely. If I don't have that initially, I'm good. I'm like, okay, I'm all right. I'm not really gonna reach out. I'm not gonna say too much, which is why I don't say too much when I be in the groups. And I see them, and they be talking real spicy and saying some good stuff, and that's awesome. And then I look at the picture. Ooh, never mind. I'm good. Okay, never mind. I'm all right. And now I got to move on. So it's tricky. It's tricky.
It's the same. It's the same for me as well.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
Yes, it is.
No, it ain't. Okay. It might be similar.
But you didn't let me finish.
Yeah. It might be similar, but see, guys are different. Guys, on the other hand, like I said, they was like me. Like, oh, you got a man? That's cool.
Oh, I'm not talking about that.
When can we rock? And I'm sure there's some unattractive dudes and whatever the case may be, and whatever case. I get that. I'm sure, but because she is who she is. Okay. Oh, he's nice. His soul is sweet. Oh, do you see this? He's open.
Do you see this? I hope you guys are watching the video and not Spotify. Do you see this?
He's open. He's so learned about architecture and or whatever. And she'll interact with this man knowing that he's not physically her type, but she'll rock with him anyway.
Because that's not what she needs.
I don't necessarily need exactly what he needs.
See, okay. Like I said, I need to have that feeling. Not saying I need to have that. I just need to have that.
No, you need feeling. That level of like sexual attraction. I need to know that. Yeah.
I need that attraction. I don't like the whole. Oh, they're gonna grow on me. I don't want fungus. I don't want fungus to grow on me. I don't want that. I don't like shit growing on me. I don't like that.
Really?
I don't like that.
Either the fungus growing on.
No, I don't want. They're sweet, they're nice, and then later on I'll get to feel. No, I don't want that. I don't want that.
First of all, that is not what I do.
But women can be a little different, right? Like we really can be. There can be an instance where I might not necessarily be. You might not be the one that I'm physically attracted to, but if I'm mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, we can connect, then I can grow.
And then later on, somehow, you're like, you know what? He's attractive now. Something about him.
Little funny ass looking nigga. He attractive now.
I was at work the other day. I saw this girl with this dude, and everything in me was fighting, asking her, why him? He looked horrible. I'm a dude, I'm telling you. He was wrong. All the way wrong. all the way wrong. And when I tell you she was a baddie, she was. Woo,
she has certain levels
woo,
of needs.
We got one question coming up, and it's asking Shandira, do you want 2 men at the same time? Can we explain that? Because I don't think it's.
Please because I'll answer it a couple of ways.
There's only one way to answer that one.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Because it could mean something else.
I know what the fuck they asking. That is not. They're not asking about.
That's why
two men holding their hands down the street. That ain't what the fuck they talking about. That's not what they talking about.
That's why I want clarification.
We talking about, okay, Warren, we talking about her like literally being in bed with 2 men at the same time? Or are we talking about polyamory? Because there's a difference.
Yeah, there is a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Since I was happily cut off, I have different levels of relationships, sir. For a person that I would like to be my boyfriend, I feel exactly the same way as he does. Like I have to be physically attracted to you and want to have sex with you and etc. But for a person who is going to be, I shouldn't say going to be because it depends on what they are. But for a person who I can just hang out with and go traveling or just, we watch people, they don't have to be all the check boxes, right? Because I got certain check boxes that are important for boyfriend material and they don't have to fill all of those boxes. And I like to learn stuff. Right. And so these people can assist me in learning things.
But see, the assistant with learning stuff, you can be the homie and teach me some shit.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, you not.
I didn't say that about having sex with people.
You not the homie when they sending dick pics and doing all kinds. That's not the homie now. That's not the homie. No,
I understand that. I don't think it. I wish I got some penis pictures. I don't get penis pictures. I don't know.
He said he is talking about 2 men in bed at the same time.
Well, I figured that's what he was talking about. I just wanted clarification. Who is this person? Warren. I'll answer for you. Ideally, as a top list of sexual things, it is not a top list of sexual things. Is it something that is desired? Yes. Is it something that I need to have in the sense of like I got to have it? No. I can go through my whole life and not have it and be fine. But it is one of those like checkbox situations. Because goddamn it, he got 2 women. Why can't I get 2 men? So yeah, I would like that. And now he's probably gonna be like, so Mitch, how do you feel about that?
That's exactly what he just said. Is he comfortable with that? That is exactly what just look. It was boom.
We did have that conversation though. Do you want to? You talk a lot. I'll shorten it. So the conversation started off with, I ain't doing that. Right? That was first. I ain't doing that. I've only done that with like homeboys or like people I knew.
I feel safer, because I'm a straight man.
Yeah.
So if I'm in the bed and there's a man and a woman there, if I'm there with my homie or a cousin or a brother or whatever,
kind of like I'm smashing the same chick, but not at the same time.
I know that they're not looking at me. I know that he ain't paying me no mind. I grew up with this man my whole life. I know that he is not in that way. So I'm good. They're not looking at me. But with some random ass dude in the room, I don't know what he's looking at.
But that's how. Okay, so
I don't know what he's looking at. He might be messing with you, but then looking at me and then mess around. I will check his windows in that moment. I will black both his eyes in that moment real quick. Don't do that. Don't do that.
So that's how it started off, with the hell to the no, right? And then we had the conversation about what a threesome can look like, right? It does not have to be what people think it is, that every single person is engaged in touching each and every person inside of the threesome, right? It could truly just be everyone engages with the center person or the V or whatever, like that. And then we talked about who it would be if we did do it, like how would that look kind of thing. And after that conversation and about 1.5 years later of another conversation, he said he's willing to do it, but He just needs to know who the person is and have some kind of interaction with them prior. So,
because I say that because as a man, I want my woman to try to satisfy me in every way that she possibly can.
Right.
So, vice versa. If that's something that if that was high on her list, if that was high up there, I think it's for no other purpose. At least, one of the top purposes is because I want her to be happy and satisfied.
that took a long time to get there.
Not saying
not with us by ourselves, just with
not saying that I don't take care of her. I'm not saying that because
no, we're talking about
and let me say this because that's what people begin to think.
Of course.
Yeah, because I definitely had somebody think that he and I don't be doing the do, and that's not what this is. I am very satisfied over here. I'm so satisfied that it makes other situations difficult.
Right.
So yes, I am very satisfied. He is satisfied. Sex is different with every person though. So yeah. I would imagine, well, I don't know, that there may be some things that you may like from some other person versus, the opposite or whatever. That
that's always the case with anybody.
Like
if
somebody.
If you cheat on your man, and this dude, his stroke is different, his size is different. He's a little more aggressive, or he's not as aggressive. He's more sensual and romantical and whatnot. So. You not that you don't enjoy what you got going on over there, you just appreciate variety in in that feeling sense.
Yeah,
I can't want you to be a super whole freak nasty if you are a very calm and mild mannered. That's your spirit. I can't make you change. Now you can try to change on your own or whatever, but that's only to a certain degree. But if I want to be able to just slut you out, sorry I said it, but say it like that. But if I just want to do all kind of nasty, extra crazy things to you, and you're not that type, I need to go find that.
And that's the joy of polyamory. Being able to say, you give me this is fabulous, but I kind of want to try something else, and going out and trying those things. Yeah.
Sexually, non-sexually. I think sometimes we get hung up on the sex part of it, and we don't. And what we don't understand is that
everybody gets hung up on the sex part. Including myself in the early stages. I was like, hey, that's the only thing that went through here. She could give me a whole hour-long conversation, and all I heard was
sex, all the things that we have to. We went to a museum, and we went to dinner, and I had a good. And he just. But now that's different.
Yeah, because it's a different level of a lifestyle, right? It's a different level of a lifestyle that promotes transparency. It promotes honesty. It promotes, honestly, integrity, right? You got to be integral about your shit in order to live that in a polyamorous lifestyle. Like you have to be. You have to know how to communicate. You have to then be able to understand. And I'm going to say this because this lifestyle is not for everybody.
No, definitely.
And it's also not for everybody to agree with, right? No one needs you to agree with anything that they do.
I just need you to respect me.
Respect it. That's it, right? Like everything that I do, everything that I say might not be for you. You know what I'm saying? What I eat don't make you shit, right? So therefore, that's what it is, right? So
that's you twice. Sorry, no. Go ahead. As you will.
But this lifestyle, a love style, poly, many, amory, loves. It's really and truly about love. It's not solely based on sex. It's not solely based on, it's not solely based on what you're trying you know what I'm saying, to get out of a person. It's really and truly how you connect with the energy of a person. All this stuff is about connections and it's about energies, right? And it's the same way how, like y'all said, listen, I can either cheat or I can learn how to be honest and be fluid with it.
And that's the thing. When I tell people about it, when I talk to people about it, I tell them, I say, it's cheating without the consequences.
Which is a sucky way to.
It is.
Like, you have to explain it that way for people.
You're openly cheating without the consequences of the cheating. You're not going to get in trouble. You're not going to get in trouble. You want to see that girl, you want to go out, you want to talk to her, you want to date that girl, you want to mess with that guy, you want to talk to him, you want to flirt with him, but you don't have to sneak and do it. You don't have to worry about getting caught and having that person being upset with you.
You ain't got to sit there and be on your phone like this.
Hiding,
coding your whole
you get all the joy, all the benefits of it,
like
without
this.
the nerve rattling. Okay, I could. Oh my God, I could get busted. I could get. And if you do get busted, now the person's wilding out and they're slashing your tires and they cussing you out all crazy, and you ain't got that. That's that kind of stuff you don't have to worry about.
Right. You ain't got to sit there with your little phone case up as you're sitting here trying to live life and stuff. Nah, you could actually sit with your phone open.
Yeah.
Open. Yep. And I think, and the truth of the matter, and here's the thing, right? If you're solely monogamous and you also are not a cheater / adulterer, this really doesn't apply to you, right? It really doesn't, right? If you are solely monogamous and you truly just believe in one-on-one, this does not apply at all to any of us that just solely believe
either.
Huh?
And it also doesn't make it any less.
No, but that's the thing, right? Like, at the end of the day, everybody has to live in their truth of who they really and truly are on the inside, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, like, you went through a situation of cheating, right? And this now, it was either A, we break up, or 2, we make this work, because you're not going to change, right? But what you did was you took my choice away, but now I need to have a choice. I need to have an option. Let's discover this together. Y'all really started to discover this together. You know, no matter how hard it was, no matter, misunderstandings, miscommunications, learning along the way, all the damn bumps, valleys, all that stuff. But y'all really had to learn this together as a couple and learn how to, like, really maneuver it. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I wanted to bring out. I wanted to bring out the way in which a couple who went from monogamy into polyamory and how you navigate that into a level of understanding. And then also, would you say that y'all formed a deeper connection with each other?
Oh yeah, very much so. Very much so. Way, way, way more. Way more. Because you just feel more free. Like, I haven't said it recently, but I guess I could say it again. That the main reason that he and I are together and still together is because I don't feel like I have to hide. I can truly be me and not be judged. He's like, even though he's had his own feelings about this, he's never judged me. He just, like, he may not understand it, or he may just be like, that don't make no goddamn sense. I'm not doing that, but he's never been like, oh, you're a hoe because of that, or you're this because of that. It's truly just more of him managing his jealousy or whatever the case may be. So this is the only relationship that I could say where he knows everything about me. Mm-hmm. Like, upside down, left, right, etc. about me. My other relationships, nope. Because I was too afraid to completely be myself, doing what everybody else felt like I should do. And, like, I was married right before him, like, literally right before him. I had left my marriage. I got divorced a little after, but I had left my marriage literally right before him because I got into a relationship that looked good. Like, because everybody said this is what it should be, or this is how you should navigate life, and got into it and unfortunately should have had the conversation before, but got into it and was like, oh, well, I want to do this and I want to do that. And I want to keep being myself, and realized, oh, this ain't it. This ain't it. So we've grown on another level. His emotional intelligence has grown a lot since.
I concur with that.
A lot.
Yeah.
Well, I love it.
Yes.
So let me say this, because we are definitely at like time, right?
It's the hour time. The hour time.
Is there anything y'all would like to just say to anybody, or just in general, when it comes down to understanding, respecting, and knowing that there's still boundaries?
I would just tell people just to be honest with yourself. Understand who you are and what you want. Communicate what you like, what you don't like. Listen to the other person about their likes and dislikes, and foster good communication. Because I think communication it'll kill a lot of the extra stuff that goes on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just do your best to be open and communicate, and really listen. I really get out what you need to get out for you. But when the person is talking to you, listen. Really receive what they're saying. That's the best I got. That's it.
I like that. Really listen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I would add to that, don't live by anybody else's standards. If something is in your, like, even if you're monogamous, and you're like, I don't want people who are this way, or I want my house to look like this, or whatever the case may be, stand by it and be true to it. Don't compromise, because you can get what you want. What's the point of being in a relationship and not getting the things that you most desire? Because of course you're not going to get everything, but try and get as much as you can, and don't settle for it at all.
If you got 10 things on your list, try to get all 10. Bust your ass and get all 10 as best you can.
All 10.
However you can, get it.
Yeah. Just be open and honest with yourself. And I would say forever be open to growth. Always. Don't just hear something and be like, and to be stuck in that mindset. Even if you don't necessarily agree, just take the time to understand and respect it, and then move forward. Because I feel like with polyamory, a lot of people are so quick to condemn and all this stuff, when we have to be totally honest. I feel like polyamory makes people better, because there's so many things that you have to do to maintain a polyamorous relationship.
You have to become a better version of yourself to sustain, this type of interaction. You have to.
Yeah, you can't be a person who doesn't communicate, or a person who doesn't speak up. You can't be that person. You can do that in monogamy. You definitely can. You could be like, how some people go, oh, my husband doesn't help me with the kids, and stand a third, and now you're over here frustrated because women think, oh, this is what it's supposed to be, so nobody says anything. But then when you're in a polyamorous relationship, there's none of that. You start to speak up. You're like, hey, I need a partner. Like, I don't call him my boyfriend. I call him my partner, because the hell, I don't want a boyfriend. I want a person who's going to do this, that, and the third. And yeah, being polyamorous forces you on so many levels to be, because you got to confront yourself. You got to confront your bullshit from childhood too. There's a lot of bullshit from childhood. I'm just saying. There's a lot of stuff back there,
right,
that people need to focus on to be polyamorous. And monogamy, you can get away with that. You definitely can. I did it for a long time, but being in this, you get smacked in the face with your shit on a regular basis. The regular basis. Like I got smacked in the face with it like a couple of days ago. I was like, ooh, that didn't feel good. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. So yeah.
So basically, be open, be honest, confront yourself, be true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And foster. I think in any relationship style, any love style, these are all principles that you absolutely need. But if you are considering the polyamorous lifestyle, then you got to be prepared to deal with some deep things, right? Because it's just all it's going to happen if it's going to surface, right? All those feelings, all those societal norms that you believe in, all those things are going to surface. All those, concepts and constructs that we were raised in, they're all going to surface. And this is across the board in life. As you see, monogamous people are miserable too, because half of them can't figure out whether a man supposed to take out the garbage or not. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be the simplest of things.
It'd be the simplest stuff. And we don't even have those conversations. We had a real clear, open conversation of what this partnership looks like. When I found that monogamy does not do that. You're not taught to do that for some reason, and I don't know why that is.
I don't know why it is either, but maybe I'll do a podcast on monogamy, because I'm tired of all these little fruitless debates about this stuff. It really does work my whole good nerve. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, I just need people to be people. You know what I'm saying? And everybody needs to learn how to communicate. And everybody needs to
take out the goddamn garbage. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Take out the garbage. If you see the garbage and it's full, take it out.
I'm not taking out the garbage. I don't care what you say, Mitch.
Not in this house. I do not touch said garbage. Thank you.
I know that's right, Mitch. Don't get jacked up now. I'm trying to wrap it up, and you about to open up a whole Pandora's box about this damn garbage. Because I'm tired. No.
Listen, I understand that she don't do the garbage. I get that. I know who she is.
But it works within y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I know who she is.
And we had the conversation.
We talked about this. We figured it out. She's not going to do it. I know this.
I'll make it look nice for you. I'll put it over there all pretty.
If the garbage is going out,
it's either him or the kids. It's loving.
She doesn't do it.
I'm not doing it. And I'm not washing dishes neither.
She ain't.
Yeah. Just make sure you have conversation.
But y'all had the conversation. So at the end of the day, it's about really and truly, it's about having a conversation and being open enough to state it. You know what I'm saying? And this goes across this is polyamory does force a level of transparency that goes beyond what we think transparency is, right? A lot of people think transparency is I got to ask you a question and you give me an answer. That is not transparency. Transparency is it's already there. I don't have to ask you anything. You're already going to share. You're going to build. You're going to do, you know what I'm saying? You're going to grow organically and authentically. That's transparency. Transparency has nothing to do with me asking a question and then you giving me an answer, because that's not transparent. I shouldn't have to ask.
That's not transparency. That's called being polite.
That's it. It's not transparency, right?
You ask me a question, I give you an answer. That's a polite thing. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's not transparency.
But a lot of people think that Q&A is freaking transparency, and no, it is not. It is not. You should be able to have organic conversations and get down to some stuff. So what I will say is what we have said continuously last week and this week is that polyamory truly is about love. It is about relationships, and it is built on the foundation of transparency, communication, understanding, agreement, and then even setting
consent.
Certain boundaries.
Consent, yes.
Hello, okay?
Consent.
So
consent is key. Yes.
Consent is definitely key. Hello.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't agree to that. Nope, I don't like
it. But based on the boundary, it doesn't happen.
And that should be okay. I should be able to say, nope, I don't like that. We got to figure something out, because that don't work for me. No. We got to come to some kind of agreement, some kind of understanding. I'll meet you a little halfway or so, because I can't do that. I can't. But you let it be known that you can't. When you don't do that and you get in a relationship and you move around, that stuff is happening, and now you're all pissed off and upset and hurt and mad and angry, but you never told me you didn't like that. You never shared with me that that's not an okay thing for you. You never shared with me. So I'm just doing what I normally do. Why you mad at me? Why you being weird to me? I didn't do it. Like I didn't do anything as far as I know. But that's what again, when the open communication, the honesty, just say that.
Say it, and say it with your chest. And with that, let me say this: we out until next week, y'all. I hope y'all really enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? I hope you have gleaned some level of understanding, some level of information, some level of insight, right? Because this is really about insight. What do you say?
Don't kill me, poly people. I know I'm gonna get cussed out. I'm probably gonna get blocked from a lot of stuff. I feel it. I know it's coming.
That's all right. Because
I was just speaking what I think and what I see.
And you were entitled to it. You was being transparent, open, and honest. You was being true to self, being true to Mitch, so that's all right. He being true to self, and we can't knock anybody for being true to self. We can't knock anybody for living in their true self. So therefore, I want to thank y'all. I want to thank both of y'all. Number one, for being open, right? Because y'all don't necessarily do this, and I thank you for entrusting this platform, entrusting me with y'all, with y'all story, with the relationship, with all of that stuff. Because I truly just think it's really about information and it's about sharing. And sometimes we don't understand things and we judge what we do not understand. And we need to stop that. Stop judging what you don't understand. Get some information, get some valuable information.
Educate yourself.
Educate. Okay. And with that, we are leaving you with that thought. Educate yourselves before you judge anybody else. And we out.